Welcome everyone to this very, very special New Year's Eve meditation practice. It's always really an honour to guide and lead a meditation for our community, and it's something that I feel really privileged to do this new year. We are here on New Year's Eve, which is for many a really mixed time. It can be a really, really difficult transition from one year into the next. I certainly know as Ellie's mum, the difficulties that have arisen over the years since her passing and still continue to come up with every passing year. There's a lot of reflection and a lot of a lot of thoughts that come up, and sometimes it's hard to express them with people around us because unless you've really truly been through the loss of a baby, then that can be really hard to really authentically understand the challenges. Many people might say, "Oh, move on. It's been a long time," but actually, grief doesn't go anywhere. As I and many others always say, life grows around grief, and I've come to know and understand that grief really is something that I've had to learn how to hold hands with, and to recognize that it will always be a companion as I move through my life. And I really recognize that, as Ellie's mum, I feel that. But also many years ago, my twin brother also passed away when I was 15, and that's also very, very present still. So grief is something that we can really learn to turn towards, and that doesn't mean accepting what's happened to us. It doesn't mean forgetting or just kind of saying, "Oh well, I'm going to brush this under the carpet now, and I'm feeling okay now." It's not about that. It's about learning how to open up to all of it, because grief is multifaceted, and there are lots of emotions that come up. Sometimes within that grief, there's all in one day, just like the British weather here in the UK. The weather is much changeable, and we too can feel that way all in one day. We can wake up feeling one way, by lunchtime feel another way, by evening time feel another way, and all of different emotions in between. So our approach here at the Ellie's Gift Project, through the practices that we promote, through the practice of mindfulness, being aware, opening up, turning towards with kindness and with compassion, this is what we're all about here, learning how to do that in community together. For many people, New Year can bring a real sense of distance. It can make us feel like, we're moving into the new year, and yet we are somehow moving further away from our babies. And that really isn't the case. Our babies are always with us. In fact, there was something shared from our lovely volunteer this morning, on our Ellie's Gift community page, and I've written it down here. And she said she posted, something I find brings me comfort during pregnancy, even very early pregnancy. Fetal cells migrate from the baby into the mother's organs, such as the brain, liver, and bloodstream. And regardless of how far along you were in your pregnancy or how the baby was lost, the cells remain in our bodies. Backed up by science, our babies really are always with us. So as much as you may feel that you're moving further away from your baby as we go into the new year, that simply isn't the case. New Year can also bring a sense of loneliness as well. While the world seems to be celebrating, we can be left feeling very isolated in our grief, feeling that others may not understand this real sense of loss that's present, and feeling a real mix of emotions. Should I be celebrating? Should I be happy? It's New Year. I kind of feel some joy, but then I feel guilt for feeling that joy. Is this allowed? There's a whole mix of different things that can come up. So our invitation to you this year is to really open up, welcome all of that in, the lightness and the dark together. It can all coexist together. There's also something around this idea of endings and beginnings. Um, this kind of real sense to want to keep your baby's memory alive. Um, but yet the new year can quite often symbolize closure. So how do we do that? There's many ways to keep our baby's memory alive, and that's all individual. It might be that you go to Costa Coffee and order a coffee, and when they ask you for your name, you give your baby's name. It might be that you go to the beach and you write your baby's name in the sand. You decorate a Christmas bauble and write your baby's name on that. Or, you might decide to buy a star and dedicate that star to your baby, whatever it may be. There really isn't a right or wrong way to do the honouring. Sometimes honouring your baby's memory in silence and, holding their memory in your heart and your mind is enough. We don't have to do these big gestures. It's completely unique. Your grief is as unique as your baby's fingerprint, and you really own that. And also, as well, there can be lots of thoughts around, the past, around this kind of idea of what if, what might have been if my baby had lived. What would this next year look like if my baby was still here? So that can be very, very common to experience. And I just want to say that all of which you experience is completely normal. It's completely normal to feel as you are. And I think it's really important to give yourself permission to feel as you do and to hold space for whatever comes up. There can be a lot of pressure to move on as the new year moves in. This new year means that my baby didn't die this year, my baby died last year, or my baby died X amount of years ago. But in truth, our babies are always with us, and it doesn't matter how much time has passed. I think we can all come together and support each other in this loneliness, in this grief. And I think a real important part of learning how to hold grief is to show ourselves compassion and show ourselves kindness and grace. And I always say that I like to look after my grief in the way that I would have cared for my Ellie. And I would have done that with kindness and with patience and with understanding. I think as a community we can also come together to support one another, and I see that in our Ellie's Gift community page that we have. I see us all coming together and supporting one another, and it's absolutely beautiful. And this new year we do have a lot of other additional support on offer. Our mindfulness classes and courses are going to be up and running again. We'll have the new edition of weekly yoga classes, as well as our very lovely relaxation weekly classes as well. So really lean into the support here at the project and lean into one another. There's no shame in feeling as you feel. This new year can bring with it much mixed emotions. So I'm going to be guiding then a meditation now, and it's a very short practice. If you're completely new to mindfulness practice, it's mainly all around just being here in the present moment together. We'll be connecting with our breath, with our body. But if at any time this meditation feels like something that you feel uncomfortable with, then pull back, stop. You don't have to carry on. It's not it's a practice that you're in control of. That's what I'm trying to say. Like me, you might want to sit on the sofa. I'm choosing to sit on a very comfy sofa today. So I've got cushions to support my back. You may want to sit on the floor. You may want to sit in a chair. You may even want to lie down. However, what I always say in a meditation practice is if you're feeling particularly sleepy, then I wouldn't recommend that you lie down, because the meditation practices are designed to be followed along with. So if you lie down and go to sleep, then we're kind of defeating the object there. But also, alternatively, sleep is what you need, then maybe sleep is what you will do. So, yeah, just see what you find. So, get yourself then into a comfortable seated position, and you may want to allow your eyes to close, or you can lower your gaze. So, really thinking about the word comfort, promoting comfort where you can. And then together, let's just join in taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Breathing slowly in. Releasing the breath out. Breathing slowly in. And releasing the breath. And then breathing slowly in. Releasing that breath. And allowing your breath to return to your own pace and rhythm. So we're not changing the breath now, we're just allowing our bodies to breathe themselves. We're not interfering with that natural process to breathe, that wonderful breath. That wonderful breath that many of us forget is there. Whenever we feel overwhelmed, take a moment to stop, pause, take a breath. I want to share with you a poem that I shared recently in our community group. And it's a poem that brings me lots of comfort, and I wanted to share it with our community today. A butterfly lights beside us, and for a brief moment, its glory and beauty belong to our world. But then it flies off again. And although we wish it could have stayed longer, we are so thankful to have seen it at all. So just checking in then with this moment now. So getting a real sense of your body resting here in this moment now. The shape of your body, the weight of your body, and how your body feels supported by the surface beneath it and behind it. Feels supported and held and safe. And you may even want to let your body relax a little more into the surface beneath it and behind it. So you're giving your weight up to this surface, knowing that in this moment you're being held. In this moment, you can just let go a little bit. Relaxing your eyes and your mouth and jaw. And taking a deep breath in. And as you release your breath, allowing your shoulders to relax. Allow those shoulders to drop down with the breath. Breathing normally again. Relaxing the back and front of your body. Your lower legs, and then feel the connection between your feet and the floor. The connection that you feel. feeling grounded, solid, rooted to the floor, rooted to the earth. Noticing now how your body moves as you breathe, how the body expands with the in-breath and subsides with your out-breath. So just staying with the movements that you feel in this moment, these movements that are real. Maybe the way that your back moves as you breathe in and breathe out. Maybe pay attention to the way your shoulders move. Your arms and your hands move. And the whole body slowly rocks gently with the in-breath and the out-breath. As best as you can, placing your attention on these movements as you breathe, because your mind will definitely wander around. And the invitation is to always notice, and with the most kindness, bring your attention back. With compassion, bring your attention back, not getting frustrated, just accepting that your mind is human. It will think, it will plan, it will remember, it will get distracted. But whenever you notice that your awareness is no longer on your body as you breathe, with kindness you gently bring your awareness back. You notice again, in this moment now, the breath. The in-breath, the out-breath. In this moment, and this moment, and this moment with me. And however you feel this New Year's Eve with all of what you hold, I'd like you to open up to the possibility of showing yourself some kindness and some acceptance. Imagining that you have one large container and you're kind of holding it all in there. You're imagining putting all of what you think and feel in this container together. All of it, the lightness, the darkness, the sorrow, the sadness, the joy, the regret, anything that's present for you, just put it all in and hold it gently, carefully. See it, acknowledge it, and accept that it's there. And that, like you, in this moment, there are others doing this meditation somewhere in the world who, like you, understand the weight of this container, They too hold this container just like you. Feel connected to them now. Just like I feel connected to you right now. Another bereaved parent just like me. Holding this pain. Sharing this pain. Understanding this pain together in community. So let us just be silent for a few moments to hold space this New Year's Eve. And I'd like to finish again with that poem. So just allowing these words to wash over you. A butterfly lights beside us, and for a brief moment, its glory and beauty belong to our world. But then it flies off again. And although we wish it could have stayed longer, we are so thankful to have seen it at all. So gently allowing your eyes to open if they've been closed. Maybe taking a stretch. Moving the body in any way that feels comfortable to you to move. And I just want to say that here at the Ellie's Gift Project, we are all thinking of you this new year. We want to thank you for your ongoing support as a community, everything that you have contributed, attended, donated, everything. We're so grateful to be able to keep the project going because without you, it doesn't exist. So thank you so much. And as I said, in the new year, we have lots more on offer, lots more for you to access. And over this New Year period, please do make use of our Ellie's Gift app with lots of meditations on there, our journaling tool. We have lots of signposting services too. And thank you so much for following along today. If you enjoyed this meditation, please pop a comment and let us know how you found it. And until next year, have a very, very gentle new year, and we'll see you soon. Take care, guys.